Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your September 2016 mid-month readings. As you can see from my background, I am back at my home base after spending the last month in Eastern Europe. But for those of you who follow my channel, you know that I continued to post and work with clients while I was gone. So thank you very much for those of you who continue to watch and listen and subscribe and follow this channel. Your support and your feedback mean very much to me, and I am most grateful and appreciative of it. Again, keep the comments coming. You guys are truly brilliant with those. I love reading how the readings play out for you in your lives, for those of you for whom they do resonate. Make sure to check your rising and your moon sign as well, because if this is your primary sun sign, being a general reading, of course, it may or may not resonate for you. And you may find that some months and some readings, your rising and your moon sign may play out a little more predictively for you. Or if you're like me, I often find that each of my three signs, sun, moon, and rising, may resonate for me more predictively in different areas of my life. So it really just depends on who you are. Try to check each three for your monthly generals and mid-months if you can, to get as clear a picture and as whole a picture as possible. Thank you. As I always say, always a thank you to those of you who continue to reach out for personal one-on-one readings. It is a pleasure and an honor always to read for you. And thank you very much for the trust that you place in me to interpret and intuit the cards for you. And thank you to my regular clients also for keeping me updated on what's going on in your lives as everything continues to play out. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading, you can click on the little About button on my YouTube channel's homepage, and that will give you a little more information in detail on myself, the services I offer, and my contact information, which is Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I do readings full-time, so I'm able to get back with you quite quickly and schedule a reading within a fairly timely fashion. My current turnaround time is anywhere from a couple of days to a week and a half to 10 to 14 days, almost always within a 2-week period of time. And usually sooner. It really just depends on whether you want recorded reading or a live Skype or phone reading, in terms of coordinating times and time zones and things like that. So anywhere from a few days to a week and a half or so. So again, if you're interested in that, send me an email and we will go from there. I would be delighted to work with you. One-on-one readings are my favorite things to do. So I am continuing to use my beloved Gilded Tarot deck as usual by artist Ciro Marchetti, whom I really just love his artwork. I think quite a talented individual. I also have his Gilded Reverie on Lenormand deck as well, and the artwork on that is just truly astounding. So if any of you are interested in tarot cards, you may want to check him out. Ciro Marchetti. Ciro spelled C-I-R-O. So anyway, enough blathering. Let's get right into this reading. This is for Cancer for September 2016, mid-month. God, Spirit, Angels, Guide, show me the energies for the water sign of Cancer. Cancer the Crab for September 2016, mid-month. What does the remainder of September hold for the crabs? Cancer, September 2016, mid-month. Our watery, sensitive, emotional crabs. What does September 2016, mid-month, have in store for Cancer? Okay. Okay, Cancer. We begin with the Nine of Wands, followed by the High Priestess, the Ten of Pentacles, followed by the Queen of Wands, the Two of Cups, followed by the Knight of Wands, the Lovers, followed by the Three of Cups, and from the bottom of the deck, your crowning card representing overall energy and advice. Ooh, you have two. You have the Empress, which popped out first, and then the Ace of Pentacles, I'm keeping this. I feel like it belongs. The Ace of Pentacles as well for your crowning card. Didn't mean to do that fast. We'll go through them one by one anyway. So 2 crowning cards. Interesting. Let me just take a quick look and feel at this, Cancer. Okay, let's begin, Cancer. You know, I'm actually feel led to begin with your crowning cards because I don't know why, I just feel led to, so I'm going to. You have 2 crowning cards. We have 2 that popped up, and I feel like they belong together, so let me turn my music down a bit here. The first card that came out as your crowning card, this is overall energy and can be overall advice as well. We have the Major Arcana card of the Empress, followed by the Ace of Pentacles. So the Empress, Major Arcana cards, fingers of the divine as I like to call them, they do represent those divine energies and divine timing and orchestration being at play. And we have 1, 2, 3 Major Arcana cards for you for the next couple of weeks, the remainder of September. So the Empress is a card that represents fertility, rebirth, pregnancy. It is the yes card for beginning new things of any kind, new paths, new projects, new relationships, new jobs, etc. It represents that now is the time to plant seeds for something. The ground is, everything's fertile. The time is ripe to start planting seeds to begin to manifest something. It's about beginnings, and that now is the time to begin whatever these new beginnings are. This can also be a card in terms of advice of spending more time, maybe perhaps needing to spend more time around nature, surround yourself with green growing things, perhaps take more walks or do more active things in nature if you live in a place where you're able to do that easily. It could be that it helps you with a certain issue. I feel like some of you are kind of in the process of dealing with or overcoming something, which I feel is just one last kind of thing before you move into a truly beautiful path. And the Empress card represents that as energy, spending some more time around nature may help you kind of quiet the external noise so you can kind of get focused and figure out the best way through and forward for this. But it does represent that now is the time to, for those of you who are trying to make any decisions, who are considering beginning any new paths, projects, or making a decision. I feel like for some of you this is a lot of you, this is a decision too, perhaps an obstacle or delay in moving forward with something, but it's just about working out one final thing before you move ahead. And I feel like the time is right to do that. The time is right to begin to put something in motion. And for some of you, this may include a physical move or physical relocation as well, because that Empress card came out with the Ace of Pentacles, which I felt they were meant to kind of come out together as overall energy and advice. The Ace of Pentacles, I sometimes refer to as the moving card because it represents new beginnings as an ace, but these are tangible new beginnings because it's pentacles. Pentacles is governed by the element of earth. It's about things in our earthly, physical, material environment, often points to things like money, finances, property, resources, job, etc. Aces representing the ones, promise, potential, opportunity, seeds. Again, it's a minor echo of the Empress card. The time is right for a new beginning of some kind, and it's a tangible new beginning. This card often comes up for people who are moving to a new apartment, new home, different part of the state, out of the country, etc. It represents beginning something new, but that new, whatever that new thing is, it's very tangible energy. New beginnings of some kind, and paired with the Empress card, Empress is also about fertility, pregnancy, birth, and rebirth as well. So for some of you, it could be that the remainder of September 2016, for those of you who are trying to get pregnant, could be a very opportune time for that to happen. And you don't need my advice on how to do that because we all know how that works. And for those of you who are not looking to perhaps add to your family, forewarned is forearmed. So it looks like a pretty fertile time for some of you in terms of literal pregnancy as well. Some of you may be adding to your family. Some of you may be finding out you're pregnant. Some of you may be kind of trying to work through the last few issues of something, or the last piece of something, in order for a move to occur, a move to a new apartment, new home, relocation. For some of you, this could point towards, a new job. It's a general reading, and there's a lot of you watching, and everybody has different things going on in their lives. So it's going to play out differently. I always rely on you guys for your excellent feedback. But the time is right. The time is right for these tangible new beginnings. And it looks like you're in process of dealing with one last final hurdle or something in order to move forward on this path. So moving into the bulk of the spread itself, we find ourselves in the middle of September 2016, Cancer, with the Nine of Wands paired with the High Priestess. So the Nine of Wands. Wands is that suit governed by fire. So it's a very fiery, passionate, creative, dynamic, action-oriented suit. It's an active, fluid suit. It's about change, movement, action, power, building, creating, manifesting. It can be about career, projects, something that really fires you up and inspires you. It's an enthusiastic suit. The Nine of Wands represents taking a little bit of a step back because you've run into something, a snag, a block, an obstacle, a delay of some kind that you weren't expecting. And it's about taking a little bit of withdrawing just a little bit to kind of take another look at it, re-strategize, reflect and assess, maybe get a different perspective on it, figure out how to deal with it, and then go back in and do so, which is what this soldier on this card is doing. You can see there's this soldier who's already been through quite a bit, but he's made it this far. He's at the 9, which represents, again, one last final obstacle or hurdle, something that needs to be overcome before you reach the 10. 10's representing the end of cycle, the culmination or coming full circle in something. You can see this man has retreated a little bit from this cluster of 8 wands, and he's kind of sunk down in the grass, and he's holding on to this 9th wand. And this cluster of 8 wands in the background represents, again, some final, it's an obstacle that he wasn't expecting. He kind of had a plan. He's going along on his path, and he runs into this cluster of wands, which represents, again, an obstacle, a challenge, a delay of some kind, monkey in the wrenches, so to speak, and kind of an unexpected one. And he's taken a step back. It speaks of a withdrawal, but not a full-blown retreat, because this man is a soldier. He's already made it up to the 9. In other tarot decks, I've actually seen him, he's standing holding on to his staff. He's got a bandage wrapped around his head. He's obviously been through quite a bit, but he is still standing. He's ready for, well, not literally standing in this one, but he's ready. He's going to finish it. He's going to see it through. So it's a card of withdrawing for a little bit, taking a look at whatever this obstacle, delay, block, unexpected, some kind of unexpected thing, taking a step back, taking a look at it, re-strategizing and figuring out how to deal with it, and then going back in, because the whole undercurrent, the whole underlying theme and energy is that this soldier is going to figure out a way through, over, around it somehow. He's going to figure out how to deal with it, and which is why he's taken a step back to get a different perspective on it, and then he's going to go through and successfully navigate through this and continue on his way. It represents being at the very tail end, one last final challenge or hurdle or set of details, something that needs to be worked through. Perhaps you weren't expecting it, but it's the last thing before you fully move into this path. I don't like to say test, because I'm not one of those people that I'm not a big believer of the whole the universe testing us sort of thing, but it's just some unexpected thing which has come up, but I feel like it's, again, it's the last thing that needs to be dealt with. And again, I'm looking at your crowning cards, the Empress, Ace of Pentacles. Some of you are perhaps considering moving, or you're in the process of moving, or getting a new apartment, new house, new job, Again, for some of you, it could be fertility issues. Whatever this new path represents, it feels like you've run into kind of an unexpected snag kind of towards the end. But it's just about needing to take a bit of a step back, re-strategize, get a different perspective on it. And I feel like your way through this is through trusting your own instincts and your intuition about this thing, because that Nine of Wands is paired with the High Priestess, another major arcana card. The High Priestess is a very spiritual, intuitive individual. She allows each step of the path that she walks to be led by her connection with the divine, her trust and faith in her connection to the divine, and also in her own gut instinct and intuition. She allows that. She trusts in that completely and allows that to lead her, that connection with that deeper, almost primal sense of knowing. So paired with the Nine of Wands, Cancer, I feel like a lot of you, whatever this last kind of snag or whatever this challenge represents for you, what's going to serve you best, most of you watching this probably will have, if you connect with that intuitive sense of knowing, your gut instinct will tell you what the best way to deal with this is and how to move through it in order to fully begin to manifest to fully begin this new beginning, which the Empress and the Ace of Pentacles represents. It's about trusting your instinct and your intuition. So it's a strong indicator that if you kind of quiet your head and kind of go within, you'll be led, and it's all about trusting in that to kind of guide you through whatever this last obstacle or challenge is. And I also feel compelled to tell those of you, again, for those of you who are for whom this reading resonates, you're kind of dealing with this last snag coming up in order to affect these changes. It's kind of like it's standing in between you and the beginning of this tangible new beginning. I feel like for some of you, again, this nature aspect is important. You may just, in your day-to-day environment, it may be very noisy and busy and chaotic. And I think for some of you, what's really going to help is to take the time to kind of go to a park, or maybe go to the woods or the lake, or if you live anywhere where there's some, little cluster of nature or something, that putting yourself in that environment is going to help you kind of quiet the external noise, so you can go within and figure out what your intuition, your connection with divine is telling you. Because I feel the answer is there to deal with this one last snag. Now, next to that, we have the Ten of Pentacles paired with the Queen of Wands. So the Ten of Pentacles, again, more of that tangible earth energy. And let's see, we have 2 Pentacles, 3 Wands, 2 Cups. For a lot of you, whatever this issue is centered around, of course, different for everybody watching, but I think for a lot of you, it has something to do with, again, a physical, tangible move to a new apartment or home or relocation of some kind. For some of you, we have more Pentacles and Wands, so it could be career, job, property issues for some of you as well. The Ten of Pentacles tends to represent the end of a cycle, the coming full circle, the full culmination and achievement of something. And again, we have Pentacles here, that tangible, physical, material world energy. The Ten of Pentacles on its surface represents abundance, often financial or tangible abundance, success, prosperity, but there's a strong rooted sense of it. For example, if you were beginning your own business and you wanted to pull one card for the health, success, and longevity of your business playing forward, and you pull the Ten of Pentacles, it's great because it represents that not only is the business going to be successful and prosperous for you, but there's a strong theme of home and family around the Ten of Pentacles too. It's going to be beneficial not only for you, but for your family, those in your closest sphere, those that you work with, maybe those that you partner with, playing forward in a kind of a long-lasting sort of way. It could represent family business, family money, family estate. It's about building long-lasting, deeply rooted foundations in a very successful and prosperous sort of way. But it can be it's earth energy, so it can be very tangibly oriented around business, property, money, that sort of thing. So the Ten of Pentacles is paired with the Queen of Wands. So again, we have that fiery suit of wands, and queens and kings represent individuals or energies who've reached the mastery of their suit, the achievement of the character traits and aspects of their suit. And this queen has reached the achievement of the suit of wands, fire. So it could represent an actual fire sign individual that you are trying to build this foundation with. It could be somebody that this could be relationship oriented to in terms of love and romance relationship. You're trying to build foundations, or you're considering whether to build or trying to build foundations with this Queen of Wands individual. You could be going into business or partnering in a project or somehow with this Queen of Wands individual. Could represent a fire sign female, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Now, it's come up as a queen, but because this is a general reading, it doesn't necessarily have to be female. It could represent a male as well. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a fire sign either, but if not, then it would somebody who has a lot of fire in their natal chart, somebody who strongly manifests the character traits of the Queen of Wands. Fiery, passionate, assertive, sometimes comes across as a little aggressive. She knows exactly what she wants, and when she makes up her mind about something, she immediately goes after it. She doesn't tend to rest on her laurels very long. She's very dynamic, very charismatic. She's very good at getting the job done. She's very good at delegating and inspiring other people to get it done. She's a queen. Sometimes queens can be a little prone to obsessive energies as well. But in the upright position, she's just a very passionate, very efficient, go-getter sort of person. And paired with this Ten of Pentacles, this is where the story can split off a variety of different ways, Cancer. It could be that you're going into business with this Queen of Wands or partnering with her in some way on this tangible new beginnings. Could be a new business, new home. It could even be, pregnancy. It's going to play out a lot of different ways. A project of some kind. You've run into this temporary snag, but you guys are really trying to work through it because you're building something. I feel like for a lot of you, you're at the beginning of building something, planting the seeds for something that the hope and the effort is that it's going to not only play out successfully in the near future, but it's going to continue and grow. It's about building long-lasting foundations. Some of you are building it with this Queen of Wands. Some of you are considering it. However it works out, this Queen of Wands individual represents somebody who is playing a significant role in the building of the foundations of something. And I feel like the remainder of September is all about getting to the place where you can actually start, where you can put those seeds in the ground and actually begin, because it feels like the time is right. But again, you've just hit one last kind of temporary snag, or it could be a delay in something as well. For those of you who are moving, it could be a delay in your moving date, or escrow closing on a home, or for the opening of a business, the same sort of thing. You can apply those, and it could be relationship, love and romance oriented too. You can apply that earth energy to spirituality and love and relationships. It's just tangible results of effort you've put into something. I think for a lot of you, this is, a relationship oriented sort of thing. You're going, there's a very we feeling about it too. You're kind of partnering up, and I feel like it's around this Queen of Wands. This is your partner, whether it's business or love and romance. There's an offer coming in right after that. And for some of you, this is going to be a love romance offer that you're receiving or that you're putting out. To or from this Queen of Wands individual, and it's about building a future together, moving, some of you it's going to be moving in together, buying your first home together, perhaps getting engaged, meeting the family. So this offer, so next to the Ten of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, we have the Two of Cups, traditionally referred to as the soulmate card, paired with the Knight of Wands, and here's your offer. So the Two of Cups is often referred to as the soulmate card. It represents that kind of divine karmic thread and connection between two people. This is more than just physical and chemical attraction. This is like a meeting of the mind, the heart, the soul, the spirit, people being on the same page. This would represent somebody, if you met them recently within a short period of time, you would feel like you had known them for a long time. It's a very strong kind of meant to be connection that you feel. In terms of, you can apply the same energy. I mean, this card does come up in business and career readings as well. The fundamental definition of the Two of Cups means a really great match or a perfect match. And that's not to say, a perfect relationship or a perfect coming together between two perfect people or entities, because no such thing exists. But you're perfect for each other. It's about the coming together of two things in a way that fits in more than just, like for job, it would be the perfect job for you, not just in dollars and cents, but your commute isn't long, you love the people you work with, you don't have to pay for parking, that kind of thing. So fundamental definition is a really great union, a perfect union. Now that Two of Cups, oh, and I forgot to tell you, Cups is a suit that's governed by the element of water. So Cups is a suit about feelings, emotions, relationships, and love. All different kinds of love and all different kinds of relationships. So like I said, for some of you, what this last snag you've run into or unexpected obstacle, this is a love or romance-based relationship, and it's about you and someone else, probably a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. It's about building foundations and moving forward. And there's this offer attached to it. Either you're making the offer or you're receiving the offer, because that Two of Cups is paired with the Knight of Wands. So again, we have that fiery wand suit. And knights are the bringers of the tarot. Typically, when you see knights in the upright position, it represents something being brought to you, an offer or an offering, an opportunity of some kind being presented to you. You could also be the one making the offer, presenting the opportunity outward. And this would be a very fast-moving offer or opportunity, because it's wands, it's fiery, it's energetic. It can be quite spontaneous as well. Out of all four of the knights, the Knight of Wands is the fastest and the most spontaneous, because he's governed by the element of fire. So this would be an offer, an opportunity which is very exciting, very enthusiastic, passionate, creative, and inspiring. If it's love and romance, there's a lot of passion involved with this as well. And this is an offer. It's attached to the Two of Cups, which is a soulmate card. And again, I feel quite strongly that it's attached to this Queen of Wands. So whether it's love and romance, whether it's business, however the specificities of it work for you, Cancer, there's an offer. Either you're getting an offer or you're making an offer to someone that you feel is your soulmate. And it's about building these long-lasting foundations together. Whether you're on the giving or the receiving end of this offer. And there's a lot of emotion in here and a lot of passion, creativity, and fire. It's very exciting. And it feels like the time is right for you guys to begin moving forward into the next phase of something in a very tangible, concrete way. Again, some of you, this could be partnering in business with somebody, not just that sort of relationship. It could be buying your first home together or investing in your first piece of property together, some tangible new beginning. And again, you did run into that temporary snag around the middle of the month or so. For some of you, it could represent that this offer coming in is about kind of partnering through whatever this obstacle is, although I think if that's the case, it's only for just a handful of you. So yeah. So we find ourselves at or towards the end of September 2016, Cancer, with a beautiful combination of cards. We have the Major Arcana card of the Lovers paired with the Three of Cups. So the Lovers can represent a couple of different things. Major Arcana, so significant divine energies and advice. The Lovers card can represent a very passionate soulmate connection, and it's right next to the Two of Cups. So whatever this relationship is, whether it's love, romance-based relationship, whether it's a business partner relationship, there's a lot of movement and fire and passion involved in this. You have these two cards sitting right next to each other. The soulmate, kindred spirit, and the Lovers, which is like the soulmate card, notched up a ratchet and with a lot more heat and passion in it. Very passionate coming together. Whatever this thing is, it's got a lot of heat in it. So it can represent that relationship on that level. It also represents, it can represent making a choice or needing to make a choice. And because it's Major Arcana card, this is a significant choice. It's not, what are we going to have for dinner or what am I going to wear today? This is a game-changing, a life-changing kind of choice. Again, about building these solid, long-lasting foundations with someone. You could be considering getting married, again, purchasing your first home. I rely on you to give me the feedback on what this is specifically. And it is a cause for celebration. For a lot of you watching this, you are going to be wrapping up September celebrating something, which would strongly indicate that whatever the snag is that you ran into initially, you're working through. And again, there's a very we partner feel about it, whether it's love and romance or business relationship. And even for those of you for whom it's business or property, it still feels very emotionally connected because there's so much enthusiasm and fire and passion. Whatever it is, you feel very strongly about it. At or towards the end of the month, it's all about that beautiful coming together. It feels like the puzzle pieces finally lock into place, or the decision that's made brings everything together because you are celebrating. That Lover's card is paired with the Three of Cups. So again, that watery suit of cups, which is about feelings and emotions. This is a card of celebration. It's a card that speaks of spending time celebrating, spending time with people in whose company you really feel comfortable, you really enjoy. There's a strong social theme to this card too. It can represent, having a party, celebrating, getting together. But at its heart, it's really about celebrating with other people. And it could be just this Queen of Wands, but for some reason I'm getting that it's a celebration not only with this Queen of Wands individual, but other people as well. And it's celebrating this union. Very passionate, lovely, karmic connection too. I mean, it feels very karmically driven. So, and your overall crowning cards, again, the Empress and the Ace of Pentacles. It's the right time for these new beginnings. And whatever the snag is that you run into, it looks like you work through that successfully. And whatever it is, this partnership, this relationship, it is definitely karmically inspired. And it feels, again, very, it's something you feel very passionate about. And it looks like it has the potential to build very long-lasting, stable, prosperous foundations, regardless of the specificities of it. But the time is right. It's all about new beginnings. And I think moving into October 2016, Cancer, is when you're kind of patting the dirt down over the seeds and putting that initial watering on it, and then kind of settling down to wait to see how it sprouts and manifests. So, lovely reading. So Cancer, that represents your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have at least found it useful in some way. And if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can click on the little About button on my YouTube channel's homepage for more information. And you can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. And until I see you all again in a couple of weeks for the October 2016 general readings, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Thanks so much for watching, Cancer, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.